All right, so we will take attendance. And let's see, I can't even see. It's not even loading the, sorry.
I'm just writing people down
Okay.
as it's loading.
Okay, and I don't see if there's anybody in the audience that is new. So let's go straight into lag metrics. So this is where we had 5,386 in attendant in transaction volume, which is actually up 464. That's not bad. You go down to lead metrics. So we had 0 new users. We have 3 communities deployed. We have 6 returning users. That's pretty good. And then 0 new money in the SIG. Team-wide announcements. I guess we're going to dust off the strategy and the playbook. I'm sure there's more on that. And new member intros, and I don't think we have anybody there, what I can see. So milestone perspectives. So we have, and you'll have to help me what WTU stands for, but we have 1,000 of those.
Weekly transacting users.
Okay, all right, I figured. And rewards, hopefully so we're talking a little bit about the rewards. So the idea is to bring people
I
back.
guess
Do you want to
Tom
go
and
ahead?
Tom and I could read the section. Each of the workstream leads can read their own section. But essentially, yeah, like we have, if you think of like the app as a funnel, we have top funnel that is new people who find the app. Bottom of the funnel is kind of like people who are kind of transacting on or who kind of sign up for the app. And then you have like the underside of the funnel. It's more like an hourglass, I guess, where people are coming back. And in any one of those spots on the app, you can have leaks. It's actually very natural to have leaks where people are leaving for various reasons. So you think about this when you're marketing. So for us, we're looking at getting people to come back to the app. And we think that hopefully rewards will be one of those things that will get people to come back. Hey, you have rewards to claim. Come on and claim them. And so we're spending some time on our rewards. And it's also one of our I would say it's like the last part of our critical user journey that really needs to be refined. I mean, everything can be refined, but essentially we want to make it easier for us as a team to disperse rewards. So I spent a lot of time on the database to make those transactions a little bit easier for us to process at the end of the month. So on our dashboard now, there's a little link that you can download a CSV of the monthly transactions. Still need to do some work on that. There's a bunch of work that needs to be done, but at least the first cut is out. We need to create some reward multi-sigs as well. Another thing is that most of our rewards are held in our kind of core multi-sig. We want to create some reward multi-sigs that Tom and I can just kind of be like, all right, ready to disperse rewards? Let's do it. Just requires like 2 signatures out of me, Tom, and maybe one other person. And we also want to have the ETH addresses in the output as well to make it easier to send to people as we need to. So there's a couple more steps in there, but it's becoming easier for us to disperse rewards. I also created. Well, okay, sorry. Now we have for our rewards flow itself, we have a matrix of reward, not calculations, reward implementations, let's say, to test. And so Bluebear very graciously offered to test our matrix, and this is just going to allow us to see, does our rewards flow work for MetaMask on Brave, for instance. And so there's a lot of different combinations we can do there, and we need to test those to make sure that everything works. And the next step as well is to kind of start publicizing our rewards a little bit more. Part of the reason I did the rewards reconciliation was so that I could create a public spreadsheet that we can kind of post on Farcaster every month, and we could potentially post it on Twitter and other places as well. The idea being, hey, we're building in public. Let's kind of start showing a little bit more about our flow. It doesn't look like a lot right now, but as we start to publicize it, if it grows and grows bigger, when people see that, they might be like, oh, bCard's giving away all these rewards. I should really check that out. Another thing is that we want to start emailing the users when there are rewards to claim. So, hey, you have some rewards, come on back to the app. So that's kind of it around rewards. I mean, Tom, anything else around rewards that you want to talk about?
No, that's the bulk of it. Yeah, you've done a ton of heavy lifting, and big kudos to you for the refinements you put in this week.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot to refine everywhere, and just the fact that we have the basic frame up, which is something that Tom did, is a huge help so that we can actually get going on that. You can't refine unless you have that first cutout, right? So we also definitely identified a gap in our new user flow. So we talked about this funnel and how there's often leaks in that funnel. Right now, a bunch of our users think they have to wait for that physical card before they can actually load and start using it. We do have a new carrier that's supposed to be live on Thursday, tomorrow. I will double check with TransCard, but essentially it's going to direct people to immediately load their card to activate it and add it to Apple and Google Pay. We also want to update onboarding to include callouts to load their card and add it to Apple and Google Pay. So probably at the end of the onboarding flow, there's going to be it's going to basically be that add funds flow. Where we'll take the users through the steps that will actually allow them to add their card and add it to Apple and Google Pay. And also in the email that we send users, create some support articles and link out to those. So kind of in as many places as we can, basically saying, hey, user, don't forget to load your card, because then you can use it. And so that's what we're working on for that gap. But then there's going to be more gaps. We're going to continually discover more. And so to figure out what those are, we're going to create more analytics based on user spending. So right now our analytics we don't have like a great visibility into what users are doing. And the best way to see what they're doing is actually through their transactions, because we actually see when they activate their card and when they load it and that kinds of thing. So we're going to create a little bit more on that front and hopefully start to send users emails at critical points in the flow, and also community analytics. Things like, hey, we only have 3 communities right now, and they're not making a lot. But what if we started saying like, hey, NounsDAO contributed 50% to our total transaction flow, and Origin Dollar contributed 25% to our flow. Can we start getting a little bit of gamification from a community perspective? Well, to do that, we really need to start to have like instant access to that community data. And if we show it in the app, and if we show it online on Twitter, on Farcaster, can we start getting people kind of feeling like they want to rep their community, like they want to support their community? So we're looking at that as well. So these are the kinds of gaps we're looking at from the product perspective. And just moving forward as we keep everything, as we support the users that are coming in and ensuring that rewards are coming out. So we have some maintenance as well as kind of new stuff to do. Anyways, that's what we're at from a product perspective.
Wow, well, that is quite inspiring. Thank you so much, Lynx, and fabulous work, you guys, because this is really pulling it forward. Let's talk about the content funnel. Rainus, do you want to start? Are you able to unmute, Rainus? I don't think we can hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Rainus. Maybe leave and come back.
Hello.
There you are.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah, content funnel. With great excitement, I can announce that everything is ready for the public launch. We have an email and we have a video that will be going out tomorrow. This video you can watch in the comms channel, and it is also on our Google Media Drive. Drost created great sound effects for the intro, and he filmed and talked very eloquently and presentably about the core launch of the generic bCard, and yeah, that's for that. And also for the Nouns partnership announcement, we have the video ready. March is preparing the email. March did the voiceover. Transcendence did the animation, and Rose did the sound design for that video in particular. Very great job, and content is being generated, and quite the quality, I'd say. I'd like it very much.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Rainus, can I remind you to create a post to get all of these contributors compensated?
Yes, you can. Thank you. And I also remember that I need to send you my address so you can send me those cards. That as well.
Yes, absolutely. Please do.
So that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we're really, I mean, the idea is that we're launching live for US beta announcement this Thursday, as Rainus mentioned. For the announcement that will be the following week, so next week. And next steps after that, and of course that will include the social promotions on our 3 channels. And then we'll be working on the Origins DAO content, so that's sort of next up. So exciting job and awesome job to Rainus and Andy and March and Drost that did a great job on that, so thank you so much. So NF, as I was just about to say, would you like to talk about the community launch template?
Oh, yes, I am NF. And Lynx went ahead and made a really.
You're sounding very far away, NF Thinker.
Literally far away.
I'm in the UK. It's very. Hold on, let me put my headphones in and see if that makes a change.
Across the ocean and under the sea.
Can I hear you now?
Still really quiet.
Because okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There we go.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Sometimes my Mac speaker doesn't work so well. Or my Mac mic rather. Okay, so yeah, so Lynx created a very helpful template within Asana for new partners. And this covers 3 different areas. There's the product side, the partnership side, and the communications side. So each of these different work streams will have something to do when we onboard a new partner. So in terms of the template, that can all be found in Asana under the name Launch. So if you search for Launch, you'll be able to see in there what's required from each of those different work streams. And then I've created a folder within, let me see where I can find this here, Drive, inside our shared Google Drive. I had this open, then I lost the page, so I'm just going to reopen that up. So yeah, within our Google shared drive, we have a folder that is called open. This is called bCard Partner Launches. So the first one I've put in there is called Origin DAO Partner Launch. Origin DAO Partner Assets. And what we'll be able to do is use this as a template to make sure communications and everybody has all the stuff that they need. A high-res logo, the token logo, the card image, and then a document which basically covers all the different information that's going to be required from the communications team and also the product team. So we have Go ahead, Coffee Crush.
No, I was just going to say, sweet. Thank you for doing that. That's great.
Yeah, and so what I'll do is I'll try this document that you have. I'm gonna try and create a template out of this. I don't know if I can actually save a template and have other people access it from within the shared drive, but I'm gonna attempt to do that. And so then what you can do is just go in and fill out all the information. I mean, you or me or whoever's doing this, whoever's onboarding partner communities in the future, will be able to just go to the new partner form information, grab everything you need from there, and stick it in. And yeah, and so I've also made some adjustments to the tally form. I've just realized I need to do the one-line description. I need to get that in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. That's great. And
what's the next community on the list then, I think?
So we do have 2 communities on the list, and they are, let me just open them up. It's trees and blue. Is it blue?
Oh, yeah. Those are the communities that we're going to go with next?
I don't think they're necessarily the ones that we're going to go with next. Those are the ones that have filled in the sheet. So in terms of who's next, I really don't know. I mean, we have Pooley, who was interested. We don't think we're going to get a lot of users from them in the US though. And then yeah, I don't have any specific targets right now, but I can make that my next goal, is to find out who's next.
Yeah, so basically, this is exactly what I was kind of hoping for as the needs of the CRM, which I know you're working on and you haven't updated yet. Sorry, what I mean is you haven't told the rest of the group the updates that you've made, because you did put a lot of work into the CRM. But this is exactly what I would love to have is that list of communities, that prioritized list of communities.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, did you want to update on the community CRM as well?
Yeah, so I basically forked the Banklistau CRM over into the private bCard Notion page. And I'm going to be whittling that down to useful information, and that's going to be more of like a database, relational database of communities, contacts, and opportunities. Opportunities would be, for example, if we're looking for a new on-off ramp, then that would be classified as an opportunity, and then we would have different communities linked to that. If we're looking for new partners, that would go under new partner opportunity. In terms of what Lynx was asking for specifically, that's more of like a way to track each community based on where they are in the content funnel. So that's another portion that I'm going to have to add in, and I think it will live in a separate page to the CRM relational database. So that will just reference communities based on where they are in the funnel.
Fabulous. Wow. Well, thank you so much, NF. That's awesome. I also have you next up. Do you want to talk a little bit about the grants, the accelerators?
Yes, in terms of grants. Oh, okay. So it turns out Hire got back to us and they want to meet. That, I guess Lynx can give us some more information on that.
Yeah.
We also, you go ahead, Lynx.
It might be a good next community. I'm not sure if you're able to make it, but he just sent me a message last night, so I sent him my email. But it's at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, so I don't know if that's right in the middle of kid time for you or not.
Not on a Thursday.
Okay.
PM Eastern.
So I'll just
normally that's right in the middle of AMA time for me,
okay.
But it's not tomorrow. Tomorrow my AMA is at 9 a.m. Eastern, so I'm not going to be able to make the product meet tomorrow.
Okay. I just invited you to the meet, and hopefully you can make it. But I think Hire might be a good next community for us. They're kind of like, well, I mean, just the fact that they're interested, and let's say like the second or third most popular meme coin on Farcaster is interesting to me. We don't have a meme coin on there really right now, so that would be an interesting, different use case.
And
Okay, I am hosting an AMA with Yasik from DGen tomorrow. So
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna connect with him about a card as well.
Amazing. That would be great.
awesome. And then isn't it you're looking at links going to potentially EdCon in Japan?
So honestly, and I think he knows more about this than I, but he sent me a bunch of forms to fill in, and I filled them all in last night. So we submitted at least, but I wasn't quite sure. I mean, I think like this is NF Thinkers. I think this is really NF Thinkers initiative, but trying to support however I can.
Yeah, so this all comes from Rachel Rose, and as I mentioned, she was very exuberant on this call and was like, "Yes, you should go to Tokyo. You should get the team there where you can get funding. You should fill in the form. You can become a partner." And anybody who has spent much time with Rachel Rose knows that she's like a million miles a minute, highly caffeinated, I believe, which is fantastic. But it's hard to keep up and understand exactly what is going to land and what is like potentially a pipe dream. So she has set us up with a partnership with EdCon, which is in partnership with which is run by University of Ethereum. Now that's a great thing in and of itself because it's just going to get us more visibility if we can get our logo out there and they mention us. In terms of speaking at Japan, it really comes down to whether or not we can get funding. I asked Rachel to expand on what the funding was about. That was on the 31st of May. I'm going to give her a bump today because she hasn't gotten back to me at all. She said she was also going to interview for a biz dev role, lead biz dev at base. If that happens, she's obviously going to be focused wholly on that, I'm sure. And I haven't heard back whether or not she's gotten that. So there's a little bit up in the air in terms of what's going to happen there, what could potentially happen. The way I see it is we'll probably be approved as speakers. The big question is whether or not we'll be able to get out there because it will come down to funding.
Right. Well, I guess we'll just sort of take it one day at a time, but the opportunity is really cool. So that's great. Thank you. So, Links, do you want to talk a little bit about, I know we have limited info on the new branding from Brett.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone who's here filled in the information. I know that he's been working pretty hard on another project that he's been doing, so maybe he just didn't get a chance to take a look. But essentially, we discussed it last week at the Communication Weekly, and we discussed that it's definitely on the right track, but it seems like almost a little, let's say, too professional. And I think like you might be like, can you be too professional? Is that a bad thing? I think like when you are positioning the way that we are positioning, we are kind of like an unbank. We are different than those regular cards you have. We are a community. You understand that we actually don't want to look too slick. We want people to get the expectation that we are a community, we are a startup, and we're not going to be giving you the same level of service as Chase, but we're also not going to be charging you those crazy fees like Chase charges you, right? And so that's kind of the output from this group, and now we just need to discuss that a little bit more with Brett.
Got it. Are we just waiting on, we just need to nail down a date with him for the legacy?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. We should at least carve out an hour, hopefully even maybe a bit more.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, let's pop on over to the Asana board. And thank you for doing the roll salary. I can never figure out how to figure out what the whatever it is.
I always just search for ISO week number.
Oh, there you go.
And then week 24.
Right. Okay. So let's go through. We got roles. Let's go into, I think the first one is the actual salaries for the week of 24. The right one? Yes. Okay. So let me just go through the list. So, Lance, have you completed the project of bCard?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Are you talking to
Oh,
me, Coffee Crusher?
yeah, sorry. Okay, so I'm just going down the list. For Project Champion and Ops, did you do 5 hours?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I mainly did it on products more than ops, but yeah.
Got it. Okay. Um, I don't know who's the lead for the product workstream lead. Is that also you, Lex?
Yeah, it's me. I mean, we're actually doing this a little bit differently, and I didn't update Asana. Like, we have a governance proposal which just says like, starting at the beginning of like our current milestone since our last thing, we're actually doing it like by shares. So Project Champion gets 2 shares, and each of the other gets like kind of 1 share of the weekly salary. This is to set us up for the next as we're getting revenue. But yeah, it's still shown like this. I haven't updated Asana.
Got it. Okay. And then it looks like Ramus. Ramus, did you do 5 hours last week for bCard?
Yep. Most of it was editing, but yep.
Yep. Partnerships. NF. Did you do 5 hours last week?
I did.
Thank you. Tom, development workstream. Did you do 5 hours last week?
Yep.
And then the campaign lead, yes, for me. Check mark. Okay, so let's do quick announcement. Okay, so let's go through the inbox. This is the announcement channel. Who's the owner on this one?
Yeah, so there is no owner on this one. I think it was Rainus who wanted to do this. If I'm not mistaken, am I remembering correctly, Rainus?
Oh, we talked about this. I don't remember me being the one having to do it, but I said it's a good idea. I remember that much.
So this
Do
is
we want to do this, or should we just backlog it for now?
It was an announcement channel that we could offer to our partners to set up a bCard announcements direct link.
yeah.
I think Arkusti was or Blue Bear. Which one of you guys had created the bCard Discord server? I don't remember.
It was Blue Bear, but I don't want to create it unless like there's a reason. Like I don't want to just create make work, right? Like if there's anyone who wants the announcement channel for some reason, let's figure out who that is. And if Thinker, did you want the announcement channel?
Silence. I think
You're
we
you're
could.
you're muted, then, Thinker. I'm not sure if you are trying to say something.
Sorry. Am I unmuted? I
You're,
just unmuted.
Yep.
yeah. Did you want
No,
this
well,
announcement channel?
hold on. I just had somebody arrive at the door, so hang tight 1 sec, guys.
Okay. Sure. Why don't we come back to this one then, Coffee
Yeah.
Crusher?
Okay, that sounds good. So this is is that supposed to be Patron or Patron? This is for your patrons. Okay. So June email going out. Any updates on that link?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do it a little bit later in the month, so I'll write it this week, but I won't send it until next week.
Okay, perfect. Fabulous. So for EdCon, so this is what you were doing yesterday with
Yeah, so I think that this is, and I think there needs to, well, let's throw some success criteria in. Apply for everything, get funding, cross promo, do a talk in Japan. Okay, so we've applied. Now we are on the get funding side of it. So
yeah,
I guess.
and actually I would add for cross success like criteria like apply approval for speaking. cross promotion and then do a talk. Okay, perfect. So we'll keep it in the inbox.
No, we can move it into this week. I think he's
Into this
gonna try
week.
to work on it. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
Do we need to change the due date on that?
I'll let him change the due date.
Okay. Let's scroll. Okay, so what have we got? We've got projects unchanged, just like templates. Those are done. Spring grants.
Oh yeah, so this is actually a grant. This is actually a grant that we could potentially apply for. It's not done, but the create task templates is done. So I'll mark that as complete. The Dow Spring Grants is actually, I wonder if it's still going. It's going until. Okay, yeah. So I might just apply for this week. It's just like a quick and dirty for anything on an OP thing, but I'm not quite sure of the Canvas, governance. What does this do? September 18th. Okay.
Okay, great.
Up at 13th because that's the last Dow Spring, so I'll try to get it done this week if I can.
Where are we? So we're under, okay, milestones. Do we go through the milestones normally, or?
Well, basically that's what we did in the weekly all hands. Is each one of these like relates to one of these things, right? So
Okay.
we already did that.
Perfect. Done. Anything under the block waiting need feedback? What are we still waiting on? I guess I need to have to wait for an after feedback.
Yeah, as far as I remember, we are waiting for a little bit more traction on the nouns card.
Got it. Okay. Meaning as another more users, correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about under EdCon, under this week, it says R11 claim flow. I think, Tom, you guys were talking a little bit about that. Is there anything we need to add to that?
Yeah. Let me do this kind of
Sorry,
stuff
guys,
first.
I'm back. I don't know if you had questions for me.
Yes. I'm trying to. Sorry, he's moving. Lance is moving things. I'm trying to figure out where that was. Can you scroll up?
Yeah, so it was this one, create an announcement channel on Discord. Did you still want this, Thinker?
Yeah, I can do that. I can create the announcement. Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Just make sure that we understand what it's going to be used for.
Yeah, and then it's going to be for like specifically product updates or emergency news, not new partnerships and irrelevant news.
Yeah.
So it's bCard business. Okay. So, okay, all right. Let me just, okay, so EdCom we did, we're looking under this week. Create the Notion CRM. I know that, and I've already talked a little bit about that. Is there anything we need to add to this? Yep, success criteria.
Yeah. So I think this is this done? This first success criteria, create a CRM that allows you to see who the person works for, who they work, what stage the organization is. Is this first part done?
The framework is there. I need to continue scraping out the pre-existing data, but yes, who the person is, who they work for, what stage the org is in, not what stage the org is in.
Okay. Cool.
All right, let's go. Perfect, thank you. Announce that, announce meeting. So talk a little bit about that. What's missed? Nope. Here you've been, you know.
Is anyone else having problems hearing Coffee Crusher?
Yeah, you seem like it's like a little bit fuzzy, Coffee Crusher, but essentially she's asking about Noun's naming service. Is Prophouse still running? I don't think so. I think it's being sunset.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, maybe it's not. Anyways, we could potentially, um, yeah, so May 31st. Oh, it looks like it's still going, maybe. Anyways, I don't know if it's still going. So I don't know if we can be on Prop House, but maybe something else. Oh yeah, Prop House will be sunsetting starting June 1st. So it's done.
There you go. Okay. So is that, should we just move that into the done or completed?
Yeah, so that I marked that as complete. I'll write it in here. Prop House is being sunset.
Okay. Okay, so
But there's other things that we're doing here, right? Like we're launching the video this week.
yep, launching the video. Yep, so you're in the which one are you at? Are you still? Yes, the launch that would be next week actually. So it's the video for Nouns Down, and it's the content for email content, subscribers, and then the social media. So it'll be launched next week.
Are there other things we can do to push users of this of this card? Like, are there other things we can do to promote the Nouns card?
Yeah, I mean, I like NF's idea that you know, take a photo with the Instagram idea that NF came up with. So it's like a gamification of, and you get I forget what it was, NF. It was like a reward of Jen, I think. I get.
Yeah. So I was kind of waiting for this video to come out with the bunny corn and the noggles. It looks like that's pretty much ready to go. And so what we would like to do is get people to create a post using the transcendence filter on Instagram, and then share a link to that post under our announcement, essentially, or under in one of our Warpcast posts. And so what that would do is anybody who shares it would get 100 nogs tip. Does that make sense?
Yep. So what do we need to do to sort of like the filters available? I think you, NF, you wrote up some copy or sort of an explanation. Do we just need to start promoting that, or what do we need to do if we're launching? Once we have an actual launch date, which we will probably by early Monday of next week, when we know that the Nouns video and emails going out to our socials, to our socials.
Yeah, so it would really just be to create a post. I would just create it under my personal account since we don't have a bCard Portcast account. And then I would direct people to the filter, tell them what to do, and then have them post a link directly under my post. I would post that in bCard. We could just then amplify that wherever possible. We can repost it on Twitter with a link to the Warpcast. And that's pretty much it. Okay.
So what we'll do is, Agnes and I will keep in touch with you on the exact date so we can coordinate it, and then we'll start that, and then I can share and get that promoted across the socials as well.
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay, sounds great. All right, next one, Origin. Is there anything else in there? Thank you, Lakes, by the way.
All right. Okay, so Origin.
Okay, so Origin is going to have very similar, so a launch email, a launch video, promotions on socials. Is there anything about, I haven't looked at the docs yet, thank you for posting those, and is there anything about the Origins community that is unique or that we a similar gamification type thing about them.
Yeah, I don't know of anything specifically that we can gamify. What we had with the noggles was pretty unique. And I don't know that Transcendence is going to be doing anything else currently. They don't have anything on that. Like they are probably hoping to get something with Bored Apes or something, a large community. Origin is pretty large, but
Yeah.
that
Well, I noticed for Origin, like we haven't been mentioned on their Twitter, we haven't been mentioned on their Discord. That
Yeah.
this is ready to use, right?
Yeah, they wanted to redo the card, and I've given them everything they need for that. So I guess the next step really would be for me to ping Pete and see how they're coming along with that card redesign. Because yeah, they wanted to do that before they did a marketing push.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're kind of backlogged anyways, but yeah, we give them another ping. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so let's jump. Just I'm just looking at the time because I want to make sure we get to the what we did last week and any discussions that we have. So let's jump down to we talked a little bit about the subscriber email announcement to the US beta. That's this Thursday. The next one is for the nouns, which we don't have a date on, but we'll update the Asana. We already talked about the announcement channel on Discord, which is that one right there. Updating of the website. Any updates on that, Reynes? Can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, well, Andy's working every day to fix the comments from Link, and Jonathan has started to put in development the things that are already set in stone, like frames, positioning, and stuff like that. So we're working on it. Not as fast as preferable, of course, but knowing that Andy has gone through very large developments in his website design skills during this project, I think it's very nice. So yeah, I'm going to meet him later today. I'll see how far it is, and hopefully soon Brett can add his finishing touches and we have a website.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. Christy, do you have any update? I have your name under update cash flow for POC. Is there anything else that you want to add to that, for that task?
So CryptoDad and I met yesterday and went over this, and we're, I guess, going to talk about it tomorrow in the ops meeting.
Okay, great. Let's see. We already talked about the June patron email or patron email. Links. Do we want to talk about the strategy document or do that in the discussion? Or
Yeah, we can. I mean, we can talk about it in the discussion, if you like. Basically, I've said that I need to update Asana and the playbook and everything like that. It's been a while since I've done that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just see if there's anything else on this list that we need to talk about. We already talked about Brett and the brand. Transcendence is kind of, that is pretty much close to being done, isn't it? The Transcendence project.
Pretty much done, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Just the release of the bowl. That's the only success metrics on there. The video.
Okay. And can we as well? I guess Reynes, can you Reynes, can you get the contributors?
Paid.
Can you put up a proposal to get contributors compensated? Okay.
All right.
So
okay, so I know that Sabrina's is working on video content. Is there anything on the next up that we kind of need to talk about? Nothing? Okay. So let's jump into...
it's this one, right? Transcendence Merchant Roast. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Cool.
Great. So can you scroll down a little bit? I just want to see what the next up.
Yes. Sorry, just putting it in the
That's
inbox,
okay.
and I'll remove it from the all team projects. But yes, next up, here it is.
Okay, so is there anything on this list that we need to sort of talk about today, or can it wait till either during the week, the next meeting? Okay. No. Do you want to? Let's jump back to kind of what we did this week or what we shipped this week. I saw a big list. That's awesome, Wink. Okay, so can you scroll a little bit to the top? Okay, so wow. Okay, so we got the new public sheet, public reward sheet. Awesome links. I really want to check that out and see how we can promote that. You applied for the EdCon, which is that conference in Japan. Links also updated the database and more indexes. So Tom, of course, helped with that. They link shipped the community launch template. You did a podcast, which I actually checked out. That's pretty amazing. And I want to help promote that a little bit and listen to that. You added the WOETH to the support docs. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'll have to figure that out. Links, you notice, so this is interesting. Notice that someone was sitting on the domain. Did I get that next?
Yeah, let's see. So see, so when you go to TaxMan, it sends you to this. And I asked Bog Dragunov about it, and he said, yeah, it's likely that they are like exploiting Vercel to do that. And I don't understand how that happens, because a regular TaxMan works just fine, right? TaxMan.getbcard.io. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but he told me that we can remove that, and I think he did it last night, so it's just a matter of time before this gets better. So we'll see.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for noticing that. And then NFnet with braille.xyz. This is awesome. The creation of the stable bridge. That's awesome, NF. And then the origin DAO brief. Thank you so much for that. And Rainus and all doing that. And then NF also prepped the subscriber whitelist for on-chain goodies. Is there anything else that we shipped this week? Tom or Rainus, you've got a couple things.
Blueberry as well shipped some stuff too.
Two videos. And I think March shipped the final edition of the launch email.
Light week for me, just did some review, nothing major to add to the list.
And Blue Bear, did you have something? Alex just mentioned your name.
I did some beta testing on the rewards flow process and did put the finishing touches on the Sus score dashboard.
Oh, fabulous. All right. Is there anything else that I missed? I know Drost did video, so let's have Drost that list.
Yeah. So Drost did SFX. March did voice. Andy acted. Blueberry, I think you also shipped a draft of the warm outreach email for user onboarding, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw it in my inbox.
Yep, that's in your inbox. I'd love to get some feedback on that. If we want to, expand on the 3 touches that we were talking about on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll try to take a look at it today if I can.
Sweet. Are we missing anything else? I'm missing anybody that...
One more thing, just from a testing standpoint, is I was able to add the bCard test card to my PayPal and send a payment to it. So there is a happy flow process to get that done for those looking to wish to load their bCards with their PayPal accounts.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Awesome, guys. Wow, that's a busy week. Okay, so under discussion items, do we want to talk a little bit about the strategy document, or is there something else that we want to talk about?
I mean, in general, that strategy document is kind of old, right? Like it's, I don't even remember the last time I updated it, but like I will just pop it open in here. But we did do a, yeah, that makes sense. So it's still bankless card, right? So it's clearly old, right? So I need to honestly, I think I'll probably rewrite the whole thing. I mean, we did do a lot of work on this stuff and the knowledge graphs and stuff, but now that we are in the kind of like build for launch phase, we could probably do like a more, let's say, we could probably keep a bunch of this stuff. Like, I guess like the point of the stock is to just have like one place where people are like, oh, tell me about what's going on in bCard, and it's just like, okay, boom, this is what it is, right? So I'll probably like start by rewriting, reorganizing, that kind of thing. And we did retrospectives as well, in which we talked about kind of what's next. And for everyone here, I think you have a decent understanding of what we're trying to do. Like we've kind of been through the whole fundraising route, and we know we need to create a product with traction to actually make it happen. And if we can create some revenue, then maybe we don't even need fundraising, right? But like certain things are missing. Like Arcusy has worked on the cash flow doc, but I can't say off the top of my head how many users we need to be cash flow positive, right? Based upon the current numbers we're getting. I can't tell you what assumptions we need to validate. Like things like, oh, how much are users going to be spending on this card monthly, and how many users can we expect per community, that kind of thing. These are some of the assumptions that I need to be documenting here, and then we need to be updating Asana to be attacking those assumptions so that it's easier when someone is like, hey, what can I do? Like, recently CryptoDad came in and he's like, hey, what can I do? And I didn't really have a good answer for him. So the strategy doc is really a way for us to all be able to get on the same page about what needs to be done for the next work that we're doing. It's the bad part is that it's kind of time consuming. The good part is that when I do it, hopefully it kind of brings everything together, so everyone knows what we're working on. I mean, we do have these milestones, which I think most of these milestones are pretty like these milestones at the top here. Like I think that they're probably gonna be pretty similar, but each of these milestones has a person attached to it, and it has a metric attached to it. We just want to make sure that we're looking at the right things when we're looking at this stuff, right? We don't want to go heads down and then get new information and then be acting on old information. So that's really the key behind updating the strategy docs. Is it's just a way for us all to be on the same page about, hey, what are we all trying to accomplish as a group, and what is the kind of auditable trail that shows that that's the way that we got there. All of the stuff around the goals, like I think like it's pretty much through the milestones you kind of can see what it is. So for the most part, anyone who is here doesn't really need to look at the strategy doc unless they kind of forget or they want to go back, it's for their own interest. But anyone who's new to the team and they're like, how did we get here? Those strategy docs can be really important for them.
Yep. I mean, and the other thing that's kind of making me think about, like, I love what you were talking about from the product side, you and Tom, like how to do, like, basically reducing the friction of getting to start spending on the card, right? And making it easier and faster. Is that what other things do we push, even partnerships, communication, product, whatever, to start, building momentum? Like I know we're doing it. It will have to happen over baby steps every day. But is there things that we're missing, or that we have identified that as you call them, gaps that we need to start? And maybe that's something we do as a have a discussion or just writing them down of things where we think that we should be.
Yeah, exactly. And I do think that I for instance, right now I've attached this metric to Uranus, in terms of new users. But I don't think that we really have like a strategy on how we're going to get there. You know, there are certain things that we have, like, oh, here's our launch campaign and stuff like that, but we don't have a thing that's basically saying like, okay, we're going to do a go-to-market on this, and this is our strategy of increasing new users. I think that's what we really want to put in the strategy doc, and we want to make sure everyone buys into that, and it will give more direction to people as well. So it's not just like, oh, I'm going to create content, I'll just keep creating content, whatever, I'll just like create a new video week after week. It's if we, instead of thinking about like, oh, what kind of content should we create? What audiences are we going after, and what kind of content do they consume? A little bit of direction like that, I think, will help us, will give us more motivation and ability to kind of execute.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about, is like the strategy of like the type of things that we're missing, and then what is our from the communication side, anyways, for Ramus and I. And Ramus and I have talked a little bit about this in our docs, like the docs that Ramus wrote up. So that's something that we can add that to the strategy document, overall one. But it's just little things of fine tuning, and how do we sort of help bCard continuously grow, and fixing, like you guys were talking about earlier, about the product for the onboarding people to start loading their cards.
Exactly. Like when we think of like, oh, the product is a funnel, we want to make sure that people are at each stage of the funnel they're getting through. That gives you a skeleton upon which you're acting. So we're not just saying like, oh, we're going to try this feature, and then we're going to try this feature, and we're going to try this feature. It allows us to take that entire solution space and narrow it down onto the places that where we believe we can get the most value for our effort, because we don't have a lot of effort, right? Like that's we are all doing different things, so we need to make sure that we're making the best use of our time. So that's what the strategy document is for. I hope that when I update it, it's going to make everyone a little bit more effective.
Yep. Is there any comments? Because I know we're on the hour. I just want to make sure that anybody else has a comment on that before we sort of wrap this up. Don't be shy. Okay. So thank you. I mean, I can't do the thank yous as Link does, because he does it so much better than I when he wraps these up. But I just want to thank each and every one of you. I mean, it was an awesome week, and so appreciative of everybody that's putting a lot of work into this. And I'm excited about the announcement, US beta announcement. So I think we just keep on going forward. So thank you guys, everybody, for being here today.
Thank you, Coffee Crusher, for leading the meeting. I think it's important, and thanks to everyone as well for all the work that we're putting in. It is, as it is, we have our ship. We are working on making it, making ourselves a force to be reckoned with. So all of the things that you put in right now, every little bit of effort, it's helping our crew become stronger and stronger. So keep at it.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody. Let's make it great together.
There you go. All right.
Thanks a lot. See you guys.
Have a beautiful
Thanks,
day,
everyone.
friends.